Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be doing my nails finally. I have been a little MIA on social media, especially on YouTube, but I am back. We were struggling a little bit just with everything that we have going on with Veeda Bella, nails, and all the social media platforms that I've been working on. So definitely, I'm so sorry, but I'm so excited to be sharing this video with y'all. We are going to be doing my nails. I have not had nails on that I actually prepped on my nails in a very long time. And that is extremely rare for me, so I got so excited to finally do them on myself. We're going to be starting off by prepping my natural nail. For that, I'm using the small mandrel bit from Kiara Sky, and I'm just simply going to be prepping my natural nail while also pushing back that cuticle area and trying to remove that shine very gently. I'm actually using the not polished Efile for this, and y'all, I am so excited to be testing this out. I've shared my thoughts on it before, but honestly, it is working so well. I have used it for backfill, for prep, for everything, and it is just amazing. Okay, it's very lightweight as well, so if you want a handpiece that is very lightweight, super quiet, zero vibrating on the handpiece, definitely recommend it. I'm just gonna go ahead and finish prepping my natural nail by filing that very so gently. It was so weird seeing my natural nails naked for that long, so again, I'm excited to be doing my nails finally. Next, I'm going to be taking this tiny diamond bit from Profile's Backstage, still speed of 4,000 RPMs on my Efile. I have noticed that on the not polished one, I do have to bump it down to 3,000 RPMs, but 4,000 RPMs is definitely the topper in most Efiles. So just depending on the strength of it, always go a little bit down, or you might have to go a little bit higher. Just be extra careful while doing the process. I'm just gonna simply try to remove the excess dead skin from that area, especially since it is a hard to reach area. This bit is amazing. I absolutely love it. Next, I'm going to be taking my cuticle nippers. Yes, if you have not seen me use cuticle nippers, we are officially using them on my channel. And honestly, I don't know why I was so scared before. I have yet to cut myself or a client, and it is very minimal amount of work, especially if you're using the right bits to fully lift that up. You can definitely do it without fear. So I'm just going in and really carefully nipping off the excess dead skin. I'm not doing extensive amount of cutting because that is not allowed. And I honestly do not want to cause any type of cutting or anything like that. So we're just going to be extra careful, and I'm just nipping off those little white pieces that you kind of see sticking up, and that was caused by me pushing back my cuticle with my mandrel bit, and then I was also kind of lifting it up using that tiny diamond bit that I used. Next, I'm going to be taking these tips from Amazon. They have become my favorite. If you are new to my channel, definitely go check them out. They should be on my Amazon storefront. They are non-C-curve. They are very long, which is nice as well. So if you like extra long nails, or you have clients that like extra long nails, these are definitely super good. I'm going to be applying those on there with my Young Nails brush on glue, very carefully holding it for a few seconds and then letting it go. We're going to be cutting these short. I know a lot of y'all are gonna be like, girl, this is long, but to me, these are short, okay? I used to leave them the length of the tips, barely even cut the tip, but these are definitely my transition back into getting my nails done. So we are going to start with a pretty long nails, but definitely shorter for me. I'm gonna go in and we're going to be blending in that tip. I wanna make sure that my acrylic application goes on there smoothly. You don't have to do this, it's not necessary, it's not a need, but it definitely is helpful with applying your acrylic on there nicely. I'm just taking my small mandrel bit and carefully blending that in, extremely carefully, and I'm not trying to go in and file my natural nail again, so I'm just staying on that tip. Once I'm done blending in that tip, I'm going to be taking my Tammy Taylor hand file. You can pick the file of your choice. This one is just my favorite, and I know a lot of y'all love them too. I'm going to be filing the sides, making sure that they're nice and flush to my natural nail. The sizes fit pretty much perfectly, but there are some nails that are just a smidge too wide, and you want to make sure that that fit is perfect so that it doesn't cause any discomfort or they lift quicker. And then I'm just gonna carefully file the tip as well, just to make sure that that is nice and straight. Now to finalize my prep process, I'm taking a lint-free wipe and a little bit of Young Nail Swipe. We're gonna clean off that excess dust, but also dehydrate the nail. You can also use a dehydrator as extra preventative to lifting, but I just kind of go with this and it has worked pretty well, at least on my nails. Then I'm going to go in with the Triple X Bond. This is the primer from Not Polish, and we're going to go in with a coat of that right on top of my natural nail, trying to avoid the contact to my skin and also just keeping it on the natural nail because the tip doesn't necessarily need it. Now for this beautiful color, y'all are gonna be like, what in the world, girlfriend? You have all kinds of colors and you still decided to mix one? I sure did. I had this vision for a color that I wanted on my nails. So I've been doing a lot of content on my own hands if you have not noticed, but I wanted like a very neutral pink, light enough to where I can still apply pink gel polish and it look pink, but also light enough to where I can go in with nude and the pink wouldn't necessarily affect that nude color. So I came up with this concoction. I mixed a little bit of a few different colors from my collection already, and it is such a pretty pink. I definitely am obsessed with it. I'm gonna have to mix a little bit more of it. Now I don't have the exact measurements because I honestly just mix in a little bit at a time and then I keep swatching it until I have the desired color of choice. But if I recall properly, I started with the base color of First Nude, which is the nude that really matches my skin tone very well. And then I added a little bit of Nude Panther, which has a little bit more of a pink color. If that one doesn't work, because I know that the formula has changed a little bit on the Not Polished website, definitely just take a pink of choice. And then I mixed in there Milky White and some clear. So I pretty much just mixed all of those colors until I got this really, really light, almost see-through. Like if I apply it very thin, it will be see-through. But the color is just so pretty, and I was honestly pleasantly surprised that it went so well with my skin tone. I just absolutely love it. So we're gonna go in with our basic acrylic application for this base set. Now very quickly for reference, I'm using the acrylic brush from Not Polish, and I'm also using the Kiara Sky Monomer. It is hema-free, so reason why I've been using it and loving it. We're gonna go in with our application. I pretty much do 3 to 4 beads, especially to be able to build up that apex properly. So I'm gonna start off mid of the nail and then work my way up towards the cuticle. That's gonna allow me to easily build up that apex that we need. And I'll go over it very quickly on the next nail. But if you are new to acrylic application, definitely go check out all my beginner basics. Those videos are super in-depth with everything that you might need to start doing nails, and they will be helpful, I promise. Now the key to a perfect bead is definitely going to be getting your liquid to powder ratio down perfectly. So as you can see that the bead that I picked up is about a medium-sized bead. I'm placing it near the middle section and then I'm simply just patting it into place. And with the smallest movement, I start dragging it down in that same patting motion. I'm not dragging it, I'm not blending it. I'm pretty much just pulling it down slightly, and then I start blending it upwards just to smooth out that surface. And then of course, if I have a little bit of excess like I did here, I'm gonna go ahead and just cut that off very gently. Do not use your bare fingers. That causes overexposure to monomer. I've seen a lot of nail techs do that and my heart just sinks every single time. So we're just gonna be tucking in those sides to make sure that our shape stays nice and thin the way that we made it to begin with. Now taking another medium-sized bead of acrylic, I'm gonna place that just a smidge under that cuticle area, and now this bead I'm actually going to be blending into that bead that we originally applied. You can see that I kind of just held it there, let it do its thing, and then I just simply blend it down, making sure again I'm tucking in those sides and making sure that I have acrylic on that full nail. Now with a small bead of acrylic, I'm going to place that near the cuticle, gently start pushing it upwards and then blend it downwards. I try to drain out the monomer of my brush so that it doesn't continue to kind of spread. I honestly completely forgot how to do nails for a second because I did have some leakage on some of my nails and I was like, come on, get it together. It hasn't been that long since you haven't done nails on yourself. It was kind of funny, honestly. But it just goes to show how more practice and consistent you are, you're gonna get a lot better as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and repeat that on the rest of the nail. Same process, we're trying to keep that thickness near that tip, and I'm just kind of patting it into place. Once everything is nice and dry, I'm going to go in with my hand file. Again, hand file of choice, I'm using the Tommy Taylor peel and stick file. We're going to file those sides of the nail and then the tip as well. And I'm also going to be filing the entire surface of my nail using that hand file. It's just my comfort zone, especially on my own nails, since I don't have that extra hand to kind of grip it. I'm just going to go in with that and smooth out that surface and then square off that tip. I am angling it inwards a little bit to get kind of like that U shape. It just makes it look a lot more crisp, especially in photos and videos, but you definitely don't have to do that if you do not like that look. I'm done smoothing the entire surface, I'm actually going to be taking my mandrel bit and just going underneath that tip to file it a little bit. This brings back the thinness in the shape, if that makes sense. Sometimes it could get a little too bulky, and I just pretty much file the tip that I applied on my nail versus the acrylic on top, because the shape of the nail is pretty good. So if I want to thin it out any, I'm going to file from underneath. That way it doesn't affect the top. And then with that same bit, I'm actually going to be blending in that acrylic to my natural nail. You can always use a 5-in-1 bit. I was honestly too lazy to switch out my bit, so I just went with the small mandrel bit from Kiara Sky, and it works just as good. I try to apply my acrylic nice and thin in that area anyways, so the amount of filing that I need to do is honestly really minimal in that area. Next, I'm buffing the surface of the nail to make sure everything is nice and smooth. We're going to be doing some nail art, so I want to make sure that that canvas is perfect. You can always skip this step if you feel like it's pretty smooth already and just go in with top coat instead. That obviously makes an even smoother surface. I just don't like layering a bunch of gel products on top of one another. I'm scared that something's going to chip and I'd rather not, so I just go ahead and buff the surface. And then of course cleaning with the lint free wipe and a little bit of Young Nail Swipe. Now for our nail art, I'm going to be taking this nude color from Not Polish and I'm going to be applying it to the tips on all of them. And then I'm actually going to be creating an ombre using gel, which is a very rare seen thing on my channel as well. Y'all know my thing is acrylic, so this is definitely something new and I've been trying to expand a little bit as well. So I'm taking the Oopsie brush from Veeda Bella and I'm actually going to be taking the round side of that. It is dual-sided, so the other side has a pointy side. And you'll be able to see that a little bit later on in the video. But I'm just going to be taking that rounded side and we're just going to start blending it upwards. The gel is nice and thin, so it's easy to blend it out and easy to create that ombre. So definitely nothing too hard. And if you're using like colors, they kind of just go well together anyways. I went ahead and cured that in the light for 60 seconds. Now I'm going to go in with a second coat just to deepen up that tip a little bit and get a little bit more opaqueness that I want. And then again, just blending upwards towards the cuticle area. Now the key to a blend with a brush like this, you want to hold the brush almost right flat onto the nail, and that helps kind of blend it. The more angled you hold it upwards, it's going to be a little bit trickier. Now I did go ahead and cure that in the light, and then again, I'm just wiping off that tacky layer. Just preference, you don't have to, but to ensure that my nail art goes on there good, I wanted to go ahead and remove it. Now I'm going to be taking a blend of white gel polish and the Veeda Bella white gel paint with the short liner brush. We're going to start drawing Snoopy. I decided to do Peanuts theme this time, so we're going to be doing Snoopy first. I'm starting off with the outline of our little guy. And then I'm going to go ahead and infill the rest of the head. And again, just using that white color that we mixed. And then we're going to start doing the body as well. There's lots of ways to kind of go about nail art, and depending on what character or what type of nail art I'm doing, I do like to approach it differently every single time. So sometimes I like to just go in with the paint and start painting the silhouette, and sometimes I like to go with the outline like I did in this one. So it really just depends. I feel like messing around with the process definitely helps, and it makes you understand what you prefer as a nail artist. So definitely do not always take the advice that somebody gives you. If you don't like it, you don't like it, and you don't have to do it just because they're saying that. That is the way you should. Now we're going to be doing the little hat. We're doing Thanksgiving / fall nails. And so we're doing like a little hat, and I'm adding in all the little details using that same brush and just a bunch of different colors. I have been loving doing nail art, so if you have been scared to do nail art, definitely give it a go. It is so fun, and I feel like it just takes so much creativity to create something, and you'll be surprised with what your mind can come up with.
Te tengo una propuesta y en tu mirada ya puedo ver la respuesta. Deja que los cuerpos hablen, no hace falta más.
Now for our next little character, I'm just gonna let you guys watch the process. I did previously do the hat, since I kind of just did the same process. It was just on a smaller scale, so I'll let you guys kind of watch this and see if y'all grab anything or see what I could have done differently.
Yo te caché la señal, no hicieron falta palabras, fue un lenguaje corporal, todo fluyó natural, de lejos se notaba la energía sexual. Mami, ¿qué más? Hay algo en ti que me tiene mal, una belleza que me quema. Cuando vaya, la nota me estalla. Mami, ¿qué más?
Now to finish off our nail art, we're going to be adding some little fall leaves, of course, to match the autumn theme. So I'm starting off with the Veeda Bella just yellow color, and I'm using the short liner once again. I could have used my micro detail brush for this, but I honestly was like, this one's good enough. All of our brushes are extremely thin, so even if you use the longer bristled ones, you can still get those tiny little details because they are so skinny, but at the same time they grab a lot of paint, so it's just a win-win. We're going to be doing the tiny little leaves, and then I'm going to be going in and curing that for a full 60 seconds with very pigmented gel colors. You want to make sure that you are fully curing those for 60 seconds. Next, I'm taking the black gel paint from Veeda Bella, and we're going to be outlining our little leaves and then adding the little falling motions to pretend like they are falling from the tree. And then I'm gonna go in with top coat. This is Gloss It from Not Polish. I'm adding a thin layer of that over top of the entire nail art. We're gonna be curing that in the light for a full 60 seconds. You can always do 2 rounds just to be safe. But that pretty much concludes today's video. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a ton. and I'll see you guys next time.